Hey y'all, Elwynn Orion here. Welcome to Ion Chronic, the place where we discuss emotional understandings from a spiritual perspective. For more information, check out the video linked in the description box. Part 1. As above. Most especially in the Western world, our lives have been structured in a way that consistently requires we do all of our problem solving with our minds. As anxiety and stress-related mental health crises continue to rise, it is crucial for us to understand that our brain, our mind, is not the only processing center in the human body. Before venturing further into how to use this tool of ours, I want to offer a short understanding of who and what the mother, the father, and the self/child are, and why you might not be using it to its full potential. The father, as an archetype and concept, has been heavily co-opted by the mainstream religions, relegating God as a masculine force and often bloodily denying anyone who said otherwise. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam may use different terms, and ultimately they have focused on the same source, with a capital S, the masculine form of divinity. These, and many other faiths, venerate the Father. In balance with the Father, we have our Mother. Mentioned in the Bible as the footstool of God, our earth is the physical manifestation of the Mother and of love. For what is gravity, if not the strongest love there is in the otherwise empty vacuum of space? From the ancient Celtic Druids to the Siberian shamans, within witchcraft and earthwork, humans across time and space have continued to work with and venerate the Mother. The mainstream Christians often label the idea of Mother Earth being venerated as being sinful and pagan. Curious, isn't it, that the Bible is very clear we are made of the mother's dirt, Genesis 2:7, and have been repeatedly instructed to care for and honor the physical manifestation of God, notably Genesis 2:15. The mother's river watered the Garden of Eden, Genesis 2:10, and every garden since. The mother is, by all intent, the father's wife. Modern-day farmers, hunters, fishermen, the children of indigenous lineage, and outdoors folk as a whole continue to work in intentional tandem with Mother Earth and her surrounding mother energies. Lastly, we have the self, or as I say for myself, the child. That's you. That's me. That's Bob. Each individual on this planet is a walking imbalance of masculine and feminine energies that combine to make each unique whole. And it is through the use of the mind-heart-gut-choice network that you will better be able to understand your own internal system and version of balance between your own mother, feminine, and father, masculine, energies. Part 2. The Network. Our mind is a powerful tool. It is the structure center for intellectual processing. For all things analytical, architectural, and foundational, the mind is a great place to start. Humanity wouldn't have made it to where we are today without it. And the great many scientific advancements and social growth have also come at a cost. Despite experiencing all three processing centers near daily, we keep thinking we can think our way through everything. The mind is loud. This is both natural and socially instilled, and it shouts above the other two networks. The mind is the processing center that sits closest to the father. We connect directly to this masculine energy via the stellar gateway chakra, sitting a little over a foot above the top of our head. Our heart is where the mother's energies are most prominent. Thought processing happens in the brain, true. Emotion processing, however, happens in the heart. This is a fluid, flowing, natural place within us that allows itself to be ignored. For the heart whispers. She does not shout, like the mind. Your heart speaks with gentle nudges and quiet nods. It is deeply easy for the voice of your heart to be drowned by the voice of your mind. The heart sits exactly where one thinks it would, in the center of our chest, with its secondary chakra sitting between and slightly below the collarbone. This energy center sits most closely to our soul thread, which attaches to the back right shoulder. The gut, the seat of the soul, is where the mother and the father dance in tandem with the entity that is you. The self, or as I call it for myself, the child. This place of self works in both gentle and sudden, intense shouting. We've even got colloquial phrases about this piece of ourselves. Listen to your gut. I had a gut reaction. Or trust your instincts. In the last 7 seconds, your senses, your body, has taken in 11 million pieces of input. The vast majority of this input is filtered out by the brain, only bringing it to the conscious mind when something is noteworthy, be it threatening or wonderful. We can imagine, in a way, that our whole physical body is in fact an extension of the brain. The subconscious rapidly absorbs everything the body takes on in our senses, and only moves the information over to the infinitely slower, conscious, analytical mind for what it has been trained to see as important. We all have this aspect of self, the fast body mind and the slow conscious mind. This is a topic for another video, however, so if you're interested in learning more, let me know down below. The gut decision center sits closest to what I call the mirrored soul star, in your belly. There is an interesting physiological aspect to the gut. It is, by far, the most rapid of the 3 processing centers. The gut taps into our genetic knowledge and relies on the human body for environmental understanding. When the colonizers began, quote, exploring, end quote, and overtaking indigenous worlds, they saw these skills as magical or mystical. I'm not saying they aren't, however, there is legitimate science behind the interconnectedness of the ancient cultures and Mother Earth. We have all at one point or another in our lives felt the literal, physical response in our stomach when confronted with a situation that wasn't right for us. That pang in your belly that says, don't do that. Or, just as often and less recognized, do that. So how does our choice network get messed up? As with all things, that which goes in disuse falls into disrepair. In a world that praises thought and often shames emotion, we've been cut off from our very own selves, for both the heart and the gut operate by feeling and actively not thinking. Our emotions are often frameworked as something negative with little room for healthy expression. I do not need to go further into the historical reasons for why society has been stunted in this regard. There are plenty of historical educators out there who will do a far better job than I ever could. So, on top of the systemic social ways in which we all have been removed from our emotions, far too many of us also suffer from intense and significant traumas. Physical, mental, and emotional trauma are all extremely valid ways in which the subconscious fast mind unintentionally creates misunderstandings of ourselves and our environment. Be it childhood abuse, be it bullies in school, be it inadequate care or lack of community, many of us are wounded. Just as physical wounds often leave a telltale mark of the experience, so too do the invisible pains we receive. For many of us, all our lives we've had these 2 things working against us, our traumas and our society. I hope to give you all hope in your own ability to learn to listen to yourselves and value what you hear, regardless of what life has served you. Part 3. So below. Like a triangle, our 3-pronged choice network is the strongest in regard to structure and form. The mother and father are intrinsically opposites. They are the balance and counterbalance of life and all that exists. And we, the lucky children, are the beings blessed with the ability to retain both energies at the same time, and to bring them together. You are the union of the universe, not just the result of the union, but also the very union itself. So how do we use this choice network of ours? It is ever so simple, my loves. You do not need meditative skill or a master's degree. The only skill you need, one that we are all born with and can strengthen, is the ability to sit with and trust ourselves. That's it. Meditation in its varying forms are some such practices we can use to meet these parts of ourselves. There are, however, many ways in which we can do this. This will look different for everyone. My partner does his best choice networking while sitting in his truck and blasting alt-rock. For myself, I found the most modern forms of meditation do not work for me. My autistic and ADHD mind and disabled body simply do not jive with sitting still or being quiet. Over time, with intentional, varying experimentation, I found it easiest to listen to my own self while walking, ideally out in nature with some natural sounds around me. I stopped listening to all the cliche advice on how to meditate. I stopped listening to the overwhelming volume of often dichotomic sources and started listening to my own self on how to meditate. The day I turned inward for my own answers was my first step into the mind-heart-gut network. So please, if you too have found modern traditional forms of meditation and mind quieting difficult to do not beat yourself up. Try new things that engage the body and don't require the mind. This may be hiking or sunbathing, or like myself, going for a stroll. It may be dancing or crochet or cooking the same meal you've made 1,000 times. What exactly you are physically doing will be individual to you. What happens on the inside is universal to us all. Sadly, there isn't a map I can give you, nor a simple checklist, as desperately as I wish there were, as to how you can develop the innate skill of using your choice network. The best I can give you is my own working example. Extract and extrapolate, experiment with yourself. If you've made it this far into the video, I expect a piece of your network knows something neither of us do consciously. When I first started intentionally using the full choice network, I would do so out of doors, under a specific tree, and ideally during a quiet time of day. By manufacturing my surroundings, I was better able to hear the whisper-quiet voices of the heart and non-activated gut. These days, I can access my choice network anytime, any place, any state. This wasn't always the case, so do not get discouraged. All that waxing poetically, for the absolute shortest how-to ever. When a decision is presented. 1. I ask my mind for a simple yes or no. My inner voice always replies with a perfunctory and clear yes or no, heard and felt in my head. 2. I ask my heart for a simple yes or no. I will physically feel the answer in my chest. For me, I feel a warm glow when the answer is yes, and a tightness when the answer is no. The answer is then iterated by the mind. 3. I ask my gut for a simple yes or no. And just as my instinct would warn me of something, I feel the answer in my core. The answer is then iterated by the heart and mind. I do want to give a warning. The mind is naturally controlling. It is what keeps us literally alive, after all. It will occasionally want to override the answers of the other two if we allow it. One must use discernment until you can reliably trust your mind to not fight the heart and gut, if and when the mind disagrees. Remember, we live in a mind-focused world. It is natural for our mind to have developed a bias for itself, and just as natural for us to teach it to be fair. So, there you have it. You check with all 3 decision centers that make up the choice network. If you get all yes and all no, that's pretty simple. But what do you do if you get a mix of the 2? Personally, for the majority of the time, I simply play the numbers game. Which answer got the most votes, so to speak. Sometimes, however, the dissenting option is given veto powers. This, I regret to inform you, is a trial-by-error process. Over time, as you build your own trust in yourself, you'll know how to know what is and isn't right for you. It is a skill sharpened with practice. As a reminder, I am no teacher, nor do I play one on the internet. I am a student of only myself and of spirit. It was me and my spirit guide chipping away at how to better use this gift of choice over 2 years' time. It took time and error and intention to learn to trust myself. And now that I and my partner both use our individual choice networks and see the massive life improvements that come with it, I have been encouraged by Spirit to set you all on your own similar path. There will be more videos and shorts coming that further explore each aspect of the choice network, as well as the scientific and mystical backing for how it works. Be it great or minute, there is no query too insignificant for us to take the time to listen to ourselves. It is not selfish. It is self-full and fulfilling. Go in peace and be blessed, y'all. You are all loved, exactly as you are.